Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, Biafrans all over the world. Good afternoon, and welcome to today's edition of Biafra Television Europe. My name is Mazi, Ikem Patrick DK, and it's my pleasure to welcome each and every one of us to this wonderful day, Sunday, 22nd of September 2024, and it's 12 minutes past 3 p.m. from Veneto, Italy, and is also 12 minutes past 2 p.m. in Biafra land. It's my pleasure to be here. I want to wish each and every one of us a happy Sunday. And on this program, we'll be having a very interesting guest. Before we bring him on board, I want to say, join us. As you join us, share this program, tag your friends. I know that a lot of you have been waiting for this transmission for a while. We are coming behind schedule, but notwithstanding, we are 13 minutes past late behind the schedule. But I believe I want to say sorry for the delay in coming forth. But notwithstanding, we'll be bringing very, very interesting interview. And this interview is going to give a lot of insight to what is going on in the Biafra struggle, and also give us insight to some of the things that have happened in the past, and also be able to make our people understand the direction things are going, and how we need to put ourselves together in continuation to our struggle, and also continue to put pressure on the Nigerian government to making sure that justice is done in the release of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. With me is one that Jovista Chichi, who will be joining us also as part of our presenters on this program. Nwada, I always refer to you to as Maz. Nwada Jovista. Nwada, you're welcome to
Mazi.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Master Patrick. Thank you. It's always like that. Sometimes also I do refer some others to Mazi, So
It's quite
yeah,
funny because
we are used to it.
Mazi have become the dominant word for everybody these days. So, but we just have to make
Exactly.
sure that everybody is addressed properly. Well, welcome to the program. Can you please introduce yourself? You don't need introduction, but we still have to do that for first-time viewers in case.
Thank you so much, Mazi Patrick. I am Wada Jovista Chichi, right here with you in the studio on BTV. Thank you. And I also welcome our viewers from across the globe.
Thank you very much. With us is the barrister. I know that he holds a series of titles, but we're going to just hold on to the one that is available to us. Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Good afternoon and welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you so much, Mazi Ikem Patrick. Wada Jovita. Thank you also, and also to Biafrans and viewers in general. My name is Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Foremost human rights activist and the lead counsel to the General Club of Biafra. It's a pleasure having me once again in your program. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Barrister. We want to say welcome to this program. We want to also thank you for honoring our invitation. As you know, it is an honor for us anytime you come around, because you coming around would also help us to understand certain positions, and also understand some of the ills that are happening in
It
Nigeria.
appears network is actually network is actually giving us stress. I
Yeah,
hope
yeah, yeah. I can
are we on
feel
the same
it.
page?
Yes, I can feel it, but I can hear you clearly, and I
It's
hope that
fluctuating, kind of.
okay,
Okay.
I can hear you clearly, and I hope that our viewers will bear with us. And on the comment section, I would want to encourage our viewers to always drop your comment to give us the update on difficulties we are facing. Make sure that you update us if you are listening to us clearly, if you are having difficulties in transmission or getting our transmission. Please indicate on the comment section, because we are here to serve you. and we'll make sure that this program also align with your thought. With us once again is Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor, and we'll be talking about series of issues. As we all know, that the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, have been in detention, unnecessarily detained, despite all the acquittals and the court judgment in his favor. But the Nigerian government, under the Buhari administration, past Buhari administration, have continued to detain him illegally. And we also have the new administration who have also continued on the same footstep. And we know that the barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor have stood in the gap, fighting this battle to make sure that our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released from detention. And these are part of the reasons we are here to look at the human rights violation that is going on in Nigeria. As you know, there are series of detained activists in Nigeria, not just the leader of our IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Recently, we also had the protest. There was a protest that took place, and we saw how some of the protesters were also arrested and detained and being charged for terrorism and charged for capital punishment.
Treason. Yeah.
Yes, so Nwada, I don't know if you would be coming forward to make whatever contribution you want to make before we Barrister Ejiofor to come in, because he's been having technical issues and I believe he has resolved that. Nwada, are there things you want to say? Because I heard you say something.
No, no, no. I'm trying to remind you some words that went off your head. I was saying that they were charged with treasonable felony and others.
Thank you
You
very
can go
much.
ahead.
Thank you very much for that reminder. That is the right word. Treasonable felony for protest. And so it becomes a thing of comedy for us that even when you now protest on the street, you are charged with treasonable felony. And it is part of the issues we'll be discussing today with Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. Can you please bring Barrister on board because he's back to the studio? Barrister, we are looking at the issues of human rights violations in Nigeria, and we've seen recently that some protesters were charged for treasonable felony for protesting against this present administration and protest against hunger, despite the fact that this protest was peaceful and cordial. What do you have to say about that?
Well, what I want us to appreciate at this point, to understand at this point, is the fact that Nigerian justice system is scheme in such a manner that they are more on the side of gross violation of laws than protecting the law. Just like what you are saying about arraigning protesters for offenses of civil felony and all whatnot. These are people that actually apply to be allowed to give permission to protest against the backdrop of the hunger, poverty, hunger, and hardship in the country. And this permission was granted. At the wee hours of the night before the date started for the protest, they went to court and obtained a black market order, which I can call a black market order, to restrain them from protesting across certain places. And their protests were by virtue of that order limited to certain places. However, at the end of the exercise, some of them were arrested. Why those who lead the protest and probably who initiated it are still moving the street today, and they were arrested and arraigned for offense of trivial felony and all whatnot. So what I want to understand is the fact that the a kind of a political step taken towards demoralizing people from embarking on further protests. It's a political step, kind of witch hunt, taken towards demoralizing citizens from expressing their views, their divergent views, criticizing government policies and decisions. So that tomorrow, when you learn about those who are facing this kind of charge today, and you are called upon to come and protest, you will say, "No, I won't protest because arrested and arraigned for committing offense of felony. When the ingredients of this offense are not disclosed by virtue of that charge. So are not disclosed on the face of the charge. So this is what's obtainable in our system. If I when applied to what is happening in the southeast, how people will be arrested and also charged for offenses of criminal felony or offenses of terrorist offenses. When you know that these people were not involved in these offenses, it's common in our places. We have them in their numbers today. Those who are lucky to be arraigned in court, we have them. Biafrans who are today being detained at several detention facilities of the federal government, who are being arraigned, for offense of terrorism, treasonable felonies, or kidnapping. When actually you know these people are not involved in these offenses, we call it political motivated charge. And at the end of the day, the government will be unable to establish these offenses. Just so mainly to detain these people for a period of time, and the court will eventually allow them to go. So this is what's obtainable in our system. So, and you see people who committed, okay, like what happened a few days ago. A former governor was declared wanted, and the court consequently ordered for his arrest, then issued an open bench warrant against him. This man moved gently into the headquarters of EFCC, interacted with them, and he was asked to go. He was asked to go. The same EFCC that has been running up and down, shouting on top of the voices, granting press conferences, gone to court to tell the court that this man cannot be found, that they need order of court, and court granted that order. This man walked into a facility, and this is a man that has an order of court on his head. They should be arrested. And they asked him to go. The same night, they went to Governor's Lodge to look for the man. So that will tell you the mockery of the entire thing. It's a mockery of the system, a mockery of the democracy. So the system, the Nigerian judicial system or justice system, is skewed towards favoring the political class. That I can assure you. So this charge of freedom preferred against protesters is political witch hunt. Is purposely done to discourage those who will embark on similar protests tomorrow. Thank you.
What Jovista, I don't know if there is a question you have for Barrister. I pass the ball to you.
All right, thank you so much. As we are looking at the insights of constitutional human rights, Barrister, we know that as Nigerians, but as Igbos in particular, that we have been battling the power of a often repressive regime, and we have these biggest challenges of human rights violations of the Igbo extracts, either by the government itself or by Nigerian security agencies or by ethnic bigots. Barrister, I would want you to enlighten us about what 1999 Constitution as amended says about human rights. Thank you, Barrister.
I can't get the question clear. It's fluctuating,
Okay, the
breaking. I
question
can't hear
is
it clearly.
that
Sorry, Wanda.
the question is that Ndị Igbo has been facing or battling repressive regime since the time of independence, or let me say, since after 1970. We have been facing repressive regime. But our biggest challenge is the human rights violations of Ndị Igbo, either by the government or by the security agencies or by ethnic bigots. Now I say, can you enlighten us about what Nigerian Constitution, 1999 Constitution as amended, says about human rights in Nigeria?
I'm having an issue articulating the questions you asked. I can't get it clearly. I was trying to get the point you are trying to make about violation of the rights of Ndi Igbos, which is extant and it's common. It's a common phenomenon. So, what the law says, what the Constitution says about those rights being violated. So, I wanted to know the aspect of them, Right? Of course, if
Okay.
I
Let
want,
me come in this
I want it
aspect.
to be
Let me
limited.
come in this
I want
aspect,
to have.
barrister.
Mhm, mhm.
Okay. Now we have suffered intimidations, discriminations, exclusions. But the most difficult one we are facing is the freedom of speech and movement. We can see people being arrested randomly in Nigeria. The Igbo residents, how they are being arrested, maybe their homes will be broken in, or they will be arrested at checkpoints and they will be taken away. Why is it that we don't have that freedom of movement and speech?
Thank you so much. I can now understand what you're saying. Well, however, in answering this question, in my attempt to answer this question, freedom of movement is a constitutional guarantee right. Same is applicable to freedom of speech. Guarantee under our relevant under the Eastern Constitution. I'll use my own personal. I'll use myself as an example in this circumstance. In responding in answering this question, sometime in June, my home was invaded at the wee hours of the night. Consequently, my PA was killed. I want you to listen carefully. I'm also discussing a judgment of the court in this matter because the judge has given, court had handed down a judgment in this aspect. My PA was abducted and consequently killed, and three of my wards were killed. And they were captured clearly on camera, CCTV camera. They were captured. Then now I went to court. When I went to court, the police, the military, the SSS said they didn't come to my house. Are you listening?
Mazi, you are not being heard. Mazi
Yes,
Patrick.
yes. I think that
Yeah.
Barrister Jaffa is having issues, and I can understand based on the location he has found himself at this point in time. But I think we would just continue while he returns back. And I understand the question you were trying to put across to Barrister Jaffa in regard to what is the level of violation of human rights that is happening in the southeast as it stands today, because you need to be more specific with the question for him to really understand, uh, the point that of the question, that the level of human rights violation that is going on in the southeast and the level of intimidation that our people have to go through on a daily basis in going about their normal duties is alarming. So now, Barrister Joffor, yes, go ahead, please.
Okay. So you see, my response is predicated on the background of Section 46 of right to freedom of speech and also against discrimination. No one should be discriminated against by reason of his ethnic group, religious place of origin, but or else. But Igbos and Biafrans are being obviously on a daily basis being discriminated against. I'll come to that. I'm just giving an analysis of what actually happened in my house. To date, those guys said they.
Okay, so Barry Ejiofor is out again. What I don't know. I believe that I don't know if his internet system is being put under attack. I cannot say for sure because this is beyond technical, just mere technical problem. What do you have to say?
I think it could be possible. It could be possible because do you know that even as we are on this BTV right now, do you know that 70% people are not seeing BTV? 70% people cannot search for BTV right now as we are here on air. So it is not out of place to say that possibly his internet is under attack. But we must proceed.
Okay, so like he was trying to explain about his ordeal and how possibly the judiciary have also failed him, despite his position as a lawyer in Nigeria. It brings the question to the justice system that operates in Nigeria, and this is where some issues of Nigeria have come to roast because if a justice system of a country cannot serve its purpose, of what use is the country? Because according to the phrase and the adage that the justice system is the last hope of the common man, and if the justice system cannot give a hope to the common man in a country called Nigeria, then of what use is the existence of Nigeria where the justice system have failed? Presently, in the country of my residence, there is a situation we had sometime in 2016, and the Minister of Internal Affairs of this country held some individuals who were coming through the sea. He gave an order to hold some foreigners who were coming through the sea to enter uh, this country, and they were held for days without water, without any form of supply, and many of these hostages were, lost their lives. And when they finally disembarked, the issue was taken to court. And since 2016 till now, the battle had been going on, despite the fact that he claimed that he was representing the interests of the country. I'm trying to give you, trying to paint a picture of what justice and the justice system of a country represent. And he has been on the battle of trying to convince all the judges, trying to convince the court that the decision he took to hold the immigrants hostages in the sea was for interest of the country. But we've seen recently that the judgment came against him, despite that he was the Minister of Internal Affairs. And the position of the court was, you do not make a decision against the constitution of the country. You do not make a decision against the constitution of the country. He is still in government, but the judicial arm of government have been able to prove that the justice system here works. And you compare it to a place like Nigeria, where you have government officials use the justice system for their own personal interest. And the judge told this ex-minister of internal affairs that your decision to hold immigrants in the sea was against the constitution of the country, that it has nothing to do with the constitution, that it was for your own personal interest. And this is a die-hard anti-immigrant person who doesn't want to see immigrants in Italy. But the justice system have stood against him to tell him that you do not make decisions against the constitution of, of the country. So at the end of the day, he speaks of what a system is. He speaks a lot about a system. And I want to bring Barrister Ejiofor to the question of how he perceived the Nigerian justice system, because it's very, very important that as a lawyer, he gives us an insight of how he sees the justice system of Nigeria. Barrister Ejiofor, are you there?
I'm back now. I'm back. I'm back on stage now. Sorry about that.
Okay,
It's
so
obviously my internet is under attack. Let me hope so. So I can't understand why I'm having this kind of situation when I have more than 3 Wi-Fi's now I'm working on. I'm using.
yes, I
So
can.
just like
Maybe
okay, I don't know where you stop. Where we stop.
we've been talking about your internet, that we have a doubt that is just a normal technical problem, because
Sure.
we
But I'm back.
believe that there could be some interruptions here and there to make sure that you do not participate in this program. But you can go ahead, because there is a question I wanted to ask you. You are a lawyer, and we would like you to give us your perspective about the Nigerian justice system. As a lawyer, what is your perspective about the Nigerian justice system? They will be able to go back to some of the experiences you've also had in the issue of the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, from where you stop your representation. We want to also look at what you've also gone through in the judiciary system, your own experience in that regard. But can you give us your general perspective of the Nigerian judiciary system as it stands today?
What I can is somewhat a kind of let me convey of for want of time. So what I will say about my general understanding, probably on or summary of Nigerian justice system, is the fact that we with respect to Nigerian criminal justice system is that institution the it's bet is kind of is they tend to protect the governed and the government and the governed. It is skewed towards protecting the political class. I'm talking about criminal justice system. When we have established laws that governs the application of that laws, we have laws and have procedures, court procedure that govern the application of that laws. But when you get into certain class of persons, those who consider themselves above the laws, those laws will not apply. That's what's obtainable in the system here. If let me give an example. I will also bring in focus live cases which we have also handled and those who are still handled today when it comes to the Nigerian justice system. So, and what also is affecting the system is corruption. Corruption among the judicial officers, among also the executives, and also intimidation too. Sometime in the past, I've heard about where how some judges' houses were invaded in the night, including Supreme Court judges. So these are methods which they developed towards instilling fears on the judicial habitat, on the habitats. So, and on that note, most of them will be afraid of interpreting the law as it is. Any law, any law that will tend to probably not to favor the state, or any situation that will tend not to favor the state, they will find a way of manipulating it. Of course, you saw what happened in Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case in October 2022, when Court of Appeal was firm in ordering his release and also his suspension of trial. I'm talking about what happened in the past. I'm talking about present. So to give you an instance, then at the end of the day, what happened in Supreme Court, I want to go into that. So they are better. This justice system, criminal justice system is it protects the government that they govern. So, and this is what we are struggling today because the human rights community in the country, they've gone to bed, they've gone to sleep. They're not active as used to be. During the Jonathan administration and also more prominent during Jonathan administration, you can see protests all over the places from time to time, including the president of the country also protested at that point in time. So and nobody harassed them, nobody arrested them, nobody sent them to prison. But today, you really come out to protest, even though they protested and were arrested and also being for serious offenses. So it's better, it's key towards favoring the state than the government.
Okay, Wada Jovista, I don't know if you have a question for Barrister Ejiofor because I have series of questions as we continue to wrap up the program. We've already spent 28 minutes in this wonderful program. I want to urge everybody who is with us in this platform. We are streaming from all platforms on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, and every other BTV platform. To please help us share and tag your friends so they can also join us. We would be opening the line because I know that if we open the line for people to call in, it's gonna be a whole lot of trouble. We are not going to leave this program today because I know that there are a lot of Biafrans who are anxious to have a direct contact and communication with the barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor. And I know that you have series and series of questions on your mind to ask. But if you feel that there are questions you want to ask, you can drop them on your comment section so we can read out from that comment section to bring your questions forward. Wada Jovista, I don't know if you have any question for Barrister Ejiofor.
Of course, I have series of questions. Barrister, can you hear me?
And with you.
All right, thank you, Barrister. As we are on the issue of human rights, Barrister, on the 6th of September 2024, there was IPOB press release on about 27 secret detention centers where IPOB members and arrested Igbo residents were taken to. Mazi, is there any evidence that those people that have been taken to those prisons, ranging from Wawa prison to Abuja military base? Mazi, is there, sorry, Barrister, is there any evidence showing that those people are still alive? And secondly,
if you are following I think so much. If you've been following my release from time to time, you will understand how concerned we are about the safety of Biafrans who are being abducted on daily basis from the southeast. Sometime I was actually last month, I issued a very stern press statement on this regard, and I mentioned about places where they're being detained. This is one of the issues we're having today, major issues we're having in the Biafran land today. People are being arrested, and the worst part is that you cannot even determine where they're being taken to. That's the problem. I will give you an example. We have that should be last year thereabouts when there was a protest in Adam, and some people were arrested, and those during the arrest, some people also covered it. It was captured in video camera. So, do you know, eventually when we pressed for the release of those arrested during this process, police in Aba denied ever having them in their custody. We went to court, and today we're still in court. They even came to court and filed a counter affidavit that they never participated in the arrest. They were not there. They didn't even know what you're talking about. So they didn't even know, we should go and investigate those who conducted the operation at the day. So then we have to file a further affidavit wherein we attach the video clips of how they were arrested by the police, the police vehicles, and every other thing. So these are people who today, I cannot confidently tell you that they are still alive today. I cannot say that to you because it's only those who are lucky to be alive that can testify to what they passed through. Many people are being arrested, taken to unknown destinations, and sometimes we know whether they're alive. They must have been eliminated. So these are situations we're having. And what actually is aggravating the entire situation is the activities of someone who is fueling this crisis from somewhere in Finland. Of course, you know. So the person will be there giving directive to those who ostensibly does not have the interest of Igbos at heart to be doing things. And the police will know where these guys are. They will know where those people who are perpetrating this evil are. They will leave them. They will leave them. They will not go after them. They will go after innocent people who are walking the street of Biafra and arrest them. And sometimes those people will not come back alive. Sometimes when you go to stations to demand for their release, they will tell you they don't have them in their custody. So this is the situation we're having. As a matter of fact, let me say this to Biafrans. It's only those who are alive today, who are alive and with definite place of detention, that can be happy that are still alive. Why their matters goes on in court. There are many of them that cannot account for. If I tell you what happened in Abuja here, some between 2020 and 2021, 2022, my brother, you cry. We have it on record here. We have it here. Many of people that were arrested from the southeast, who were murdered here in Abuja here, they were killed here. So then they were released eventually. Gave open testimony as to what they passed through. And as I speak to you, some of their relatives are not even aware that their people has been killed. And we have taken it up against the police. We will come to court and obtain judgment to that effect. So I cannot confidently tell you that people who were arrested in the manner in which we are discussing, they are alive. After all, two of my words have been detained in Wawa military detention facility in Niger State today. So most of them who were arrested, they cannot give account of their safety, whether they are alive or not. This is a problem we're having today in the Biafran land. And it continues. because people's houses have been invaded. They will go to have people's houses and the widow house and pick people, abduct people. And if you go to challenge them, tell them, ask the demand for the list of those who are arrested, they will tell them don't have them. They will deny ever participating in the oppression, ever coming, conducting the arrest, ever taking part in the oppression. That we should go and look for the people. They will even tell that they should might have been killed. The oppression must have been conducted by those who are by Biafrans. They will tell you this, or call ESN, or call whatever they want to call. So this is the situation we're having. And Biafra needs to be aware of this. So the Nigerian security agents are aware of those who are committing this evil. They are aware of where they are. They are aware of where they are operating from. They have the information. They have their facts with them. And instead of going against people, identifying the areas, the target, and apprehending them. No, they will go to anybody they see on the street. Particularly when you have any mark on your body, you are gone. They'll say you're IP member. Once anything have a mark, they will classify as IP member, attach you to IP member and take it off. And okay, now zooming down, I'm in Abuja here. Today, there's no day that passes will not hear incident of arrest and abduction from Biafra land. Someone will call me today and said, Ejiofor, something happened in probably Oluasis or Owerri. My brother was going to church and was arrested. I will send the lawyer to go to Owerri to go and find out where the person is being detained. You go from one police station to another. And in the end, you don't see the person. You will not find him. You will not find him. It's only by stroke of luck you can be able to see where the person, some of them, some who are lucky. So this is the situation we're having in different lands. So if you understand the damage this man is causing Biafrans today, if you understand the damage he's causing our land, look at what's happening all today. Yesterday, I listened to one audio where somebody said that that a particular community has been deserted completely. Now they have done embarked on raiding houses, deserted houses. Are you getting what I'm saying? So this is because when we are talking about situations, we also need to understand the remote cause, the cause of this problem, and how to go about it. And it appears from every indication that government is not doing anything to get them apprehended. They're not doing much. They're not doing anything. They are rather going against innocent people.
But Barrister, there is a question I would have loved to ask you because it's very, very important. I know you've you've put in a lot of work in freeing a lot of arrested IPOB members in different detention centers, and we saw the level of effort you've also put in making sure that those that were detained illegally have been released. While we wait for Barrister Ejiofor to return back, because I want to put this question. Okay, I think that he's
I'm with
yeah.
you. I'm with you.
Okay,
Go on.
I know it's not, but how hectic has it been for those who you were able to release? We've seen series of activities, your effort in making sure that, especially some IPOB members who were arrested and detained, have been released in different, prisons across Nigeria. How hectic has it been for you embarking on this job?
I can only attribute it to God's will. We rely so much on His mercy and grace in the discharge of this onerous tax. Of course, it was basically on account of these interventions that several attempts have been made on my life and that of my family and my workers. So, but God has been showing us mercy at every given time, and that cannot deter us from progressing. I've drawn a long line of cases here, which if I start mentioning, maybe it will take another 30 minutes to conclude about Biafran cases we're handling in different courts in Nigeria, ranging from Port Harcourt, Abia State, Ebonyi State, Abuja, and all whatnot. So, but we'll give God the glory. And you see, one thing about life I had always advised people, I will say, and maintain is that You must be upright and transparent in what you do. Do not allow anybody to derail you. That has been sustaining me. Honesty, truthfulness, and the dedication to what you believe in. So, and I do not think that any human being will change that my style of life because my covenant with my God. So, and that has been helping us. I know that this is a right cause. I know that they've not those arrested and detained and have not done anything to deserve to be treated in the manner in which they're doing. So, and the only thing I can do in the circumstance through legal intervention, purely pro bono services, which we are doing. So, against all odds, we cannot be deterred, we cannot stop. We must progress, proceed. So, and also more importantly, let me thank Biafrans and also the director of six for also being there for us because I know several times heavy, serious conspiracies have been made. Agreement has been made for us to be for something terrible to happen to me. But God, by virtue of intervention of Biafrans and also the director of states, those things, the conspiracy was neutralized. So it was a very serious one that would have taken my life, but God said no. That will happen between January and June this year. But information leaked, and it was fiercely fought for, and God is still with us. God is showing us mercy. So, and we cannot stop. As I had said, we cannot stop. We must proceed. Look at our people. Some of our Biafrans that were arrested sometime last year, December. I mean, yeah, for some of them, 55 of them, they were abducted in several places in Anambra State and brought to Abuja. They were still being held in a Kefi prison. So we are in court on their matter, and court, though court has freed them, but we are still total
Um,
sure.
okay.
So this is what we are having every day. You have about a situation whereby some confirmed Boko Haram terrorists were arrested and they have vetted and integrated into the force. The Biafrans will be arrested and taken to the unknown destination. Some will be killed. Have you had any of them who they said they have taken to rehabilitation center or who are pardoned by government? You have not had any of Biafrans have been pardoned. No, cannot hear that. So this is a situation we are finding ourselves in the country. So, and I believe God has a purpose for bringing us to be in this position. I believe how God has a purpose for placing us in this position we are today. So, and the moment to say we will not do again, I believe that grace will be taken from us. So we must proceed to do it, to discharge that on our tax.
I think, Barrister, your voice keep breaking as a result of whatever situation you are facing, and I can relate, I can understand. There is a question I want to ask because you've talked about what have given the Nigerian security forces the effrontery to go on a full-fledged intimidation of our people, illegal adoption, and series of unnecessary harassment. Uh, do we now say that the criminality that is going on in our land today is perpetrated purposely for that purpose to give the Nigerian state the opportunity to continue to harass our people? Is it the situation, in your own opinion?
That is expected. That is a direct consequence of the of the criminal activities going on. That's a direct consequence of it. Because when such thing is happening, and I believe that the Southeast governors are not doing much because I've written them severally on account of this to get involved in this. We're not saying that security agents have no right to arrest or probably go after criminals. But what you are saying, profile these people. There are people who are doing this thing. You know the criminals who are terrorizing our people. You know people who are kidnapping their own, killing their own in the name of whatever they are doing, which I don't believe is part of struggle. So you know them, you know where they are. So when you want to go after them, provide them, and allow the innocent Biafrans to go about their normal lives. They know I've written to governors, South governors on this because they also have a role to play. It's not a function of someone, a lawyer writing. No, government has a role to play. They have to weigh in and ensure that it is stopped. Look at what happened about some time. We came out and condemned the killing of the soldiers. But in the end, a lot of Biafrans were arrested, innocent Biafrans, in their hundreds. And I personally have to write before the government got involved, and many people were released too. So it's not something that you need a political will too. You need a political intervention too from the side of state government. So we understand what's happening in the southeast. I don't want to say that there's a clear connivance between those who are doing this and the government at the center. I don't want to say that. But what I'm saying is the fact that the state government has a lot of role to play in this regard. They have to intervene, interface with security agents on how they are arresting innocent Biafrans, abducting them, and possibly detaining and killing some of them. So they know those who are doing this thing, and will condemn it in all its entirety. I condemn it, and I continue to stand condemned. What I mean has nothing to do with agitation, has nothing to have no any connection with agitation whatsoever. What they are doing is pure criminality, pure act of terrorism. It has nothing to do with agitation. They know those who are doing agitation. They know IPOB who stand for agitation. They know what they're doing. And IPOB has never been doesn't get involved in such criminality. But anybody they arrest today, they will attack the person IPOB member. So anybody they arrest today, they will say the person is an IPOB member. So the state government has a role to play to get involved in this, in resolving, in checkmating the excesses of the security agents in the southeast.
Thank you very much. And Wada Jovista, I don't know, you have a question for Barrister?
Yes, I have follow-up questions to the question that I asked him previously. Barrister, as we are talking about these people that we cannot or you cannot ascertain whether they are alive or not. Despite that, Biafrans are so concerned or curious about some Biafrans or IPOBs that were adopted long time now. People like Chooks or Basi, and those couple, Mr. Patrick Osuago and his wife, Franca Osuago, Ikechukwu Henry, Kingsley Chima, and host of others. These people, have you discovered where they are, including your own words? Do you know exactly the detention facilities where they are? Secondly, there is this disclosed report that some Biafrans who were taken to Wawa prison has been court-martialed. Persons like Emeka Ngona, who was abducted on his way back from Lagos to the east. We heard from that report that him and numerous others has been court-martialed in Wawa prison. Sir, is it not contrary to Nigerian constitution for civilians to be court-martialed? And thirdly, I don't know if you are putting down these questions. Do I hold on or do I continue?
I
Go
think
on.
you have to let him answer the two questions.
Okay.
Then you can come back with the third one, Wada, so that he will
All
be
right.
able to be comprehensive in the response.
So let me start with some of the Biafrans that were arrested and detained, their whereabouts and safety. I've touched this question in my previous response to your numerous questions. But let me, with particular reference to Chuks Obasin, we filed an action in court against the Nigerian security agents immediately after he was abducted in his house. And police was involved, the SSS was involved. We filed action against them. And judgment was entered in our favor in Abuja here. So, and we served them. Just like what I've been saying. They came to court and said they didn't go there. We served the police, we served the DSS. Can understand our frustration. They said they didn't go there. And as I speak to you now, I cannot confirm to you whether this man is alive or dead. Because we'll not be able to have, we'll not establish any form of contact with him, not at all. So, but the judgment has been, the judgment has been entered in his favor. So these are the frustration we are having today. And same is applicable to some of the persons you mentioned. We will still have pending cases against those detaining them today. In few occasions, they will file a charge against them, and as soon as they file a charge against them, as a matter of fact, we have to thank God that we have, at least this person is alive. We have many of them, they file charges against them. And once you see that the charge has been filed against them, which basically is being prompted by our application for their fundamental right enforcement. So once they file a charge against them to justify their detention, that's to tell that will tell you that this person is alive. So some of them, they file charges against them, and we are on it. We are in court with them as far today. So the second question you asked is my words. My word, of course, you are aware that I've gotten judgment against all the security agencies that came to my house, the police, the SSS, the military that participated in the operation. So, and we monitored. Luckily enough, I monitored the movement, and based on information available to me, when they were detained at the SSSS was when I got the judgment against them. And when after granting press conference to the world, addressing the world on their matter, they quickly and clandestinely took them away took them to our military detention facility. That's why they are being detained now. So, however, I've taken further steps, which I may not be able to discuss here. I've taken fresh steps to ensure that the security agents release them. So, which we are presently exploring. Of course, you know that this interview is being monitored and watched by Nigerian security agents. So, whichever strategy we're adopting to get some of this out may not be discussed here. Then, with respect to Emeka Ngonade, I, of course, is a colleague of mine who is also in his matter. So, I actually got to know about some of the Boko Haram terrorists that we are tried. That's not court martial, but it was trial in secrecy because they were not allowed to bring in their lawyers. They were not allowed to bring in their lawyers. They were, some of them, like Emeka Ngonade, from what I heard, because I didn't have the full information with me, they were giving lawyers from legal aid to defend them over there, which is totally wrong. So, I don't have the information about the other people you mentioned, apart from this Emeka Ngonade. But with respect to others, because the problem we have with those who are being detained in this one prison facility, detention facility of military barracks, is that we don't have their names. We don't know them. We don't know all of them. So apart from those we know, that we are also in court in their matter. And it takes them time to respond to some of these applications. It takes them time to respond to it. Most of the time, it takes them even 6 months to respond to. So, and once someone is taken to that facility, consider it's a very tough task to get the person out of that place. Unless court intervene, like usually they will send, like in this case, they send courts to that place to try them, some of them. So, and some convicted, giving some years sentence. So, and we are also protesting it today. Like I've done a letter in that regard, which I will not mention the movement of the letter. But when I heard about this, I took action. I did a letter to relevant authority, also protesting about the fact that citizens who are arrested and detained there, we're not allowed, when their matters are in court, we're not allowed to bring in the lawyers to defend them or to bring them to court to determine their fate. So I've done letters to that effect, which I believe is receiving attention now.
Okay, Wada Chichi, your last question on this.
And also, it's against Nigerian law to subject civilians to military detention and trial. But what you see today is where civilians will be taken to military barracks and detained. Are you with me? So, in total disregard of the Eastern law, of course, I've already mentioned that laws are not being obeyed in this institution we call Nigeria. Laws are not being obeyed. They're not being obeyed in Nigeria. So this we see this and it's part of grave violation of human rights. Because human rights is very clear, law is very clear as to where civilians will be detained. Because they're not military personnel. So if someone committed an offense due to law, the person should be arrested, then brought before the court to be tried. If the person is found wanting, guilty of the offense charge, the person should be taken to prison facility to serve the jail term. If appeal didn't succeed. So, but in this case, you see where civilians are being subjected to military detention and the arrest. So that will tell you the situation we found ourselves in the country. And and the human rights community has suddenly gone mute. They've gone to bed. Nobody's talking, and nobody's concerning government policy in this regard. Nobody's talking about it. There's an issue about it, apart from us.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
what
thank you, Barrister. My next question is about those in Ebony prison. There are many, I would say, uh, thousands. Yes, thousands of Biafrans are in Ebony prison. Sir, what efforts have you made, or can you tell us the fate of
You
those
also mentioned
people
you also
in?
mentioned about let me just clarify this. You also mentioned about someone, this time Mrs. Ike Chukwu Henry. So because I understand some people will be listening to this interview. We filed application for their release before the Federal High Court Abuja, and the portion to which the SSS filed a response to our application. And in their response, they stated clearly in black and white that these people have been taken to Wawa military detention facility. So that those who are listening will understand where their people are. So I'm talking about with respect to this time, Mrs. Ifeanyi Ejiofor Henry. So we are still in court in that matter. So go on with the question.
All right. So, what about those in Ebony State prison? Can you tell us what is their fate, if they are coming out or not? And what efforts have you made for these people that have spent years in Ebony prison? Also, there are many Biafrans that has been abducted. Some, their homes were invaded, some were picked at checkpoints, some on the road, some in the places of their works. And these people are not IPOB members. Barrister, I don't know if you are still there.
I'm with
yeah,
you.
I
I'm
think
hearing you. I'm
Paris-
with you. I'm hearing you.
All
okay.
right,
I'm
all
here.
right. And
I'm
these
here. I'm here.
people, okay, many of these people are Igbos or Biafrans. They are not IPOB members. But once they are picked, the Nigerian security tag them IPOB or ESN. Sir, what is their reasons for doing this? For tagging every Igbo speaking person they picked as a member of IPOB or ESN?
Are you hearing me?
All right, sir, you are coming out.
Yes, we can hear you,
Okay.
Barrister. Go ahead. You are coming clearly.
Okay. With respect to the Biafrans that were being detained at Ebony State, it will interest the world to know that these people were arrested sometime between 2020 and 2021, and we went to court in the same Ebony State. They were charged for offense of murder. We defended them. At the end of the prosecution case, the court discharged them of the offense of murder and directed they should be allowed to go. That same day, they filed a fresh charge against them that borders on illegal possession of firearms, belonging to unlawful society, and other frivolous allegations. Then we now start another case of trial. The prosecution fielded their witnesses, tendered the exhibits in proof of their case. And at the end of the prosecution case, we file a no case submission also because we are convinced and satisfied that the prosecution has not been able to establish its case, allegations against these innocent people. And the court, for the second time, discharged them and asked them to allow them to go. So I want you to understand the trajectory of what you have passed through or what they've passed through. So, and directed they should allow to go.
Now, they filed another charge against them, which is the third charge now before the court. And as I speak to you, they've concluded their case and have filed also another no case submission. However, there are other interventions which I am personally making, which I may not be able to discuss here, because obviously it has shown from every indication that it's political. Their detention is political, other than law. So we are filing a no case submission, which may be here coming for hearing anymore from now. I may not mention it. So and at the end of the hearing, a date will be set aside for judgment. And I believe, hopefully, and by virtue of other interventions we're making, which also with the knowledge of the US, so I believe that in this case they will be out. So you can understand what they've passed through and what we who are going there are passing through. And I want to also appreciate that in this letter case, I am the one personally defending them. I'm always in court any day the matter is coming up. I travel to police state any matter is coming up to conduct their cases. So until the prosecution concludes the case, and also we file this no case submission, awaiting now adoption and judgment.
Yes, Barrister, thank you very much
I'm
for.
not talking to myself.
He didn't attend to the question of why did they tag every Igbo residents they picked as IPOB and ESN. Why do they do that? Or why are they doing that?
Now, what I want you to understand, with respect to the reckless classification of any Biafrans as IPOB member is simple. It is political. They know, just like as I earlier emphasized, it's just merely to demonize IPOB as an institution, as a body, as an organization. They demonize the IPOB as an organization, and also to paint them black before the international community. Of course, you know that the purported proscription of IPOB in Nigeria has not been ratified across the world. Of course, because they understand, the world know that the proscription of IPOB is political. Because IPOB does not possess the character of terrorist organization as an organization. So what they are doing, what they are effortlessly doing in classifying any member, any Biafran arrested today as an IPOB member, is to demonize them and to tell the international community, look, you will say you are not going to ratify our prosecution of IPOB as a terrorist organization. See what they are doing. When in fact, that they are not the people who are doing that. I only a few days ago, for the first time, that should be last okay, we're in a new week now. That was last week. The Nigerian military issued a statement and the front family now this time around mentioned the name of a group who are terrorizing the southeast. They mentioned the name and the person who is leading them. But these are things they are familiar with. These are facts they are familiar with, and this is a fact the Nigerian police is familiar with. This is a fact the Nigerian DSS is familiar with. For the first time, the military mentioned the name of this group who are terrorizing the state and the southeast. So, and they know those who are arresting innocent Biafrans and classifying them as terrorists, tagging them as IPOB members, know that actually IPOB members are not people who are doing this. They know those who are doing that. Instead of calling them by their name, they will not call them by their name. Because it is a game plan. It's a game plan to demonize them, one, two, to represent them in bad faith before the international community. That's all. They know.
Okay,
Barrister, I
Barrister.
think the picture is very clearer now. I can now, or Biafran can now relate why they continue aiding the midget in Finland, even when he will boast of what he will do, and he will kill the army, kill other people, and post it on his ex account. And but Nigerian security we continue tagging IPOB using the media to refer him to IPOB. So the picture is clear now because even when they invaded their camp in Osu, their names were clearly written boldly in their camp. Yet
Of
they went
course.
ahead to say that Nigerian army invaded IPOB camp.
Yes, I think that Barrister, are you back?
I'm too. I'm yelling you. I'm too. I'm yelling clearly.
Okay, thank you very much. For me
If
personally,
there's any question left unanswered, remind me.
yes, Barrister, I think
You know,
you've given answer to some of the questions that were
and
put
also let me
across.
also let me also let me also let me also also remind you that the case of the 36 detainees in the State is not only case we handle in the State. I have other cases where they were detained at the case of Onueke High Court, where in about 20, about 25, about 19 of them were arrested and detained. In that case, they were tried for offense of armed robbery, kidnapping, belonging to unlawful society, and the end we find no case submission. And that Onueke High Court discharged them also. And they have been, these 19 persons have gone since long time. They've gone. So apart from this one, we are late now. They've gone. They've been released and they've gone. So
Okay, okay, thank you, Barrister. Very, very interesting. Nobody needs to be told the volume of job you have on your hand because a lot of people believe that you are just there redundant. Many people do not believe or do not even understand the amount of work you have in your hand and the job you have been doing in making sure that you stand up for those who are oppressed. And I remember when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was released finally from detention before the invasion of his home. I remember the kind of effort you put in place in working out all the necessary um, procedures for his bail condition and things like that. And we also have seen the challenges that you faced when he was also renditioned from Kenya, and some of the challenges that came with, with your effort, which I would not want us to go into details, but we cannot completely exclude some of those experiences you have had in recent time representing the leader of IPOB, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And I know that the representation have changed. He now have a new legal counsel. But I would like to ask you specifically, what effort did you put, in making sure, because I know you won series of cases from the time he was renditioned from Kenya till the continuous illegal detention. What have been your effort? Because it's important that Biafrans understand the effort you have put in making sure that in this last abduction that that he got justice, especially being able to also state that fact that he never jumped bail. What have explain to us what effort you have made in this last abduction from Kenya, the extraordinary rendition back to Nigeria. What were your efforts? In a very brief summarized terms, if I may use that word, terms, please.
Mazi, thank you so much. I had indicated before now that I will want to discuss Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's case. I understand also your concern. So I have not discussed it in any way, whether our past efforts, which speak for itself, or current outings by the now legal team, for reasons I may have expressed, given before now. However, um, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, we started this case in 2015 actually, because I may not start from June 2021 when it was a rendition to Nigeria. And we did we did well. I don't want to comment myself, but of course the facts is there, and Biafrans also have the facts with them. So um, we did well. I don't want to I don't want to commend myself because you people have also witnessed what we have done. We eventually secured his release. Not only him, of course, not only him, of course, his comrades too. Benjamin Madibu was involved. Chimezie also was involved. Um, Chidebere Onwudibe was involved, and the David, one we see. And not only that, I secured the release of these comrades, I followed up to perfect their release, their bail. I personally followed it up to perfect the terms granted by the court for their bail. I, Ifeanyi Ejiofor, followed it up. And those I'm talking about know what I mean by perfecting their bail. They know what happened. So without any of them being involved in getting that thing done, but I give God the glory for making it possible for us. So before, of course, what happened between that period, before Nnamdi Kanu's house was invaded, and his subsequent extraordinary rendition to Nigeria on June 26, 2021. We took over again, and between June 2021 and January 2024, Biafrans will testify to what we achieved under the leadership of Professor Michael Zekome. So, and before we exited. So, and I believe he actually exercised his right to choice of counsel, which is a constitutional guarantee right. And I personally, because on principle, choose not to discuss it because I wouldn't. Why I said I don't want to discuss it for Biafrans to know because they've been asking me questions, even on my platforms, on my pages, calling me on phone that I should not renege, I should not do that. I said no. You see, the point is that when when we are in this matter, we recorded several judgments, rulings in his favor that was possibly leading to his release. Let me just stop here. There's some people who are somewhere writing against us, giving opinion on what we're handling. One word,
Barrister,
let me finish.
I understand you. I understand. There is a reason I asked. Yeah, Barrister, there is a reason I asked this question. I don't want you to, I do not even expect you to go into details because I know that a lot of things happen. But
Yes.
anytime people
Yes, Mazi Patrick, I
anytime
understand
people see
you.
your face, and there is an issue we can, yes, it's not an issue we can shy away from. But what I wanted to register in this conversation is, the sources you have made, because we all know that there are instances where the court have, released and acquitted him and have asked him to go home. And it is very, very important that we continue to reiterate this position, notwithstanding, the barrister is out of the place. So, because it's important that we continue to reiterate the position of the court in the release and the acquittal, the unconditional release and the acquittal of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And that is the reason I am asking this question. Because a lot of people still live without a doubt that is it really true that the court really acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? And that is the reason I have decided to put this question across to you. For you to really confirm if the court have actually acquitted unconditionally released. Is not, we don't want to go into details, but I want you to reaffirm that if the
Okay.
court unconditionally
Okay.
released and acquitted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Very, very important for our listeners.
Okay, thank you so much. And let me start from when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was auditioned to Nigeria. The federal government amended the charge, the earlier charge, the earlier subsisting charge against him, and increased it to 13 count charge that substantially borders on different offenses now. Then, under the leadership of our elderly council, an application application. Okay, we filed an application actually. I initiated an application to challenging the competency of the charge before before the introduction of my mentor, Professor Michael Zekom SN. So before his introduction to the case, and he came in, reviewed the entire thing, then and we filed a very composite objection to the charge, which he argued before the court, very readily argued, and the court struck out 8-count charge out of 13, remaining 7, right? A 15-count charge. The court struck out 8, remaining 7. Then, unsatisfied with the ruling of the court, Silk and our team proceeded to Court of Appeal to challenge the remaining 7-count charge. And on October 22nd, 2022, the Court of Appeal, Abuja Division, in a unanimous judgment, when I say unanimous judgment, means judgment delivered, agreed by the 3 presiding judges of the Court of Appeal. The court substantially, because the judgment in principle struck out the remaining count charge preferred against Nnamdi Kanu, directed the SSS to release him unconditionally, and prohibited federal government from filing a fresh charge against him. So, or proceeding with further trial in the matter. This judgment was delivered and it has been reported in Nigerian Wiki Law Report. It was delivered on 2nd of October 2022. While ruling on our appeal against the remaining count charge under the leadership of Professor Michael Zekom is saying. So that was the day the Nnamdi Kanu spec was determined by the court. And the judgment was served on the federal government for 8 hours after. So I don't want to go into what happened after. Of course, you don't want to spring God and whatnot. So
Yes,
in
but
response to
Barrister, I don't want you to go. I don't even want you to go further. I don't want you to go further. Now, based on that, based on the answer you've given so far, do we now ascertain that the continuous illegal detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is illegal? Is it the position as it stands today? Because I don't want us to go into full details of things that have happened after you left as his legal counsel, but can we ascertain as of today that the continual detention of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu based on court order is illegal? That is all we want to hear from you.
Mazi Patrick Ikem, you are indirectly inviting me to give an opinion on an issue I don't want to get involved in. Because I cannot answer this question without making explanation that will possibly impact what is happening in court one way or the other today. So I may not answer this question, because if I answer that question, it will
Thank you,
most likely
Barrister.
negatively or positively impact what they are doing in court today, the drama going on in court today. So I don't want to go into answer that
Mazi
question.
Ikem, can the phone number be
Jovista, go ahead
made
if you have
available?
other questions. Go ahead if you have other questions.
I think yes, a phone number has to be made available now as we continue on other questions, because we know that why we are here today is to talk about the violations of human rights and what the Constitution says about it, and also talk about the forceful disappearances of the Igbo residents, both the IPOBs and non-IPOBs. That's the issue why we are here today, because as IPOB, we understand that Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor and Professor Ozokome's son is no longer the lead counsel of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, but they are still the lawyers of IPOB, and that is why we are here today. Please, the numbers to call: +49 1152 166 09937. Please, technical director, can you project the number, please, on the screen? +49 1152 166 09937. Please, we want to advise our callers, please, if you are calling, please base your question on human rights violations, the constitutional rights of every Igbo speaking man or woman, or you can even talk about the violation of human rights in general in Nigeria. Because in the beginning we talked about the protesters who has been arrested, or some human activists who has been arrested because you are carrying just a placard. You'll be arrested and will be charged with a treasonable felony. Why those who were wielding AK-47 has been tagged and nicknamed bandits, and the Nigerian media is going on with that. They have removed them from being terrorists and now have beautified their name to be bandits. And wherever they carry out attacks, instead of narrating it the way it is, that these people invaded communities and did this or the other, they will tell you that they had a communal clash. This is what Nigerian government is using Nigerian media to do today, and that is why we are here today. Barrister, as we proceed, I have this question to you, or for you anyway. Please, Barrister, as a human rights lawyer, is there any other institution that the plight of IPOB members needed to be presented internationally within Nigeria legal frame? As we know that the Amnesty International and the UN human rights organizations are already in the know of our plight. Is there any other effort that you are making, that any other legal institutions we know about our plight? Calls are already coming in, but I think we permit Barrister to answer this question before we start picking the calls.
Yeah, definitely. And as the calls are coming in, we would also like to give them a time frame for whatever question they want to ask. Very,
But
very important.
I would technically, what I would technically answer this question because of I will answer it in a way you understand where I'm going to. There are interventions going on, legal interventions, global legal intervention in respect of the fate of Biafrans in the hands of the federal government. Because of what experience we had sometimes a few months ago within the um, within the one of the institutions, and the the manner in which the the proceedings was compromised by obviously people who was influenced by the state. We choose not to discuss those legal interventions in the public. We choose not to discuss the strategies, the the institutions who are presently looking into the matter, because I do not have the mandate of the organization I represent, of course, to give further light on this, or probably to discuss this with Biafrans, because they've gone deep on this. They've gone deep on this. And that I can assure you, and I may not be able to discuss it here, unless maybe in a subsequent interview, I'll be able to tell you what. Better be assured that they are taking serious steps on this issue, and complaint and legal interventions have been made across the globe, and I may not be able to be specific as to institutions who are seized of the matter now. Thank you so much. I hope you understand with me, please. It's just for
Yes,
Okay,
Barrister, please let's start taking the calls because the
Barrister,
line is bustling. Yeah, let's start taking the calls, please.
yeah, Barrister, it's important that you may not be able to answer all the questions, but we appreciate
Oh my
whatever
God.
question put across that you can give us answers to.
I mean,
Thank
numerous
you.
calls. They couldn't even allow people to. Yes, caller number one. You are welcome to the program. Your name. Oh my God. The lines are buzzing. Caller, you are welcome to the program. Your name and where you are calling from.
Thank you, my sister. Brother Joyce, this is Mazi. I'm calling from
It's important that we confirm if Barrister Ejiofor is hearing clearly, because if questions are going to be put across to him, it's important that he has an audible.
Yes, I'm trying to do that, but there are so much calls coming in. But I'm trying to do that so that barrister could hear the caller very well. Caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Please be audible so that barrister can attend to your question, please. You just have 2 minutes, please. So many calls are coming in. Please, just 2 minutes,
Okay,
please.
we would like to have an alternative. Can technical director put the Skype ID on the
Show the
screen, please? I believe that you should be able to have
This is what
the
Mazi
Skype
that we can
ID.
because Mazi did not commit any crime. I want to know why are they holding him?
Caller,
Why
please,
did
please,
they
are you here with us? Are you here with us on this program? Please, we gave a directive. Please let others who have questions ask, please. If you are here with us, you shouldn't come with this question right now. Thank you. Another caller on the line. Caller, good evening and welcome to the program. Your question, please. 2 minutes so that others can call in and ask their questions, please. I can hear you clearly. You are welcome to the program.
Okay. Good afternoon, Barrister, and good afternoon. My name is Godwin, calling from Switzerland. And my question to Able Barrister is that people we are talking about that he's no more barrister for
Yes,
IPO.
Mwada, what is it?
Already
Is it not
started.
coming clear? Are you
So I
having
want to know
technical
the people
problem?
that want to start him.
Oh, are you
That's my
hello,
question.
caller? Hold on. Caller, can you hold on? Barrister, are you
Uh,
hearing him?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay. All right, go ahead. He's hearing you, but be fast, please. Others are calling.
all right, I want to know if he's already, if only to start him or not. If he's still the barrister of IPOB. That's my question. He should tell Biafrans if he's still the barrister or not.
All right, Barrister,
Or
I've
is he
heard you.
still a
Thank you
president?
for your question. Another question? Are you done? All right, Barrister, did you get his question? And Mazi, are you not even wondering how could somebody who has been here on this program we come to be asking such a question? The barrister has been here discussing the efforts he has been making in releasing IPOB members. And even before the phone lines were opened, we also talked about barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor and the son Ozokome not being the lead counsels of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu any longer, but remain IPOB uh, lawyer. So imagine how some people reason that they come with such questions. Caller on the line, good evening and welcome to the program. Caller, can you go ahead, please?
Okay, good afternoon.
Yeah, please, 2 minutes. So many people are calling in. 2 minutes, please. Don't exceed 2 minutes.
No problem. My name is Oswald. I'm calling from Ibocha. And my question to Barrister, because that 1967, during that Biafran genocide, we know that the war has been declared openly to us. And people are fighting it, they know that there is war. But this time around, the pattern that they're using now is to be taking us one after the other. Because these security agents, they are busy diminishing us, killing us. And it's also their pattern that they are using in order to be killing us so that at the end, before you know what is happening, our population will reduce to minority that if they come again, they will wipe us, all of us out. Because as of last 2 years that bishop was kidnapped, the Fulani people that kidnapping told him that well, there is a time that they will give signal to all the Fulani that at that time they will come and wipe us, all of us out. And this is the pattern that they're using that to be dismissed so that by the time that we dismiss us to the new west, they will now come in full time. My question there is that when we will have a red line and say that enough of all these things is enough, because this pattern of extrajudicial killing is too much, and it's high time that we rise up and defend ourselves, because Nigerian agent and their evil doings is all about to kill us all, so that we will find way in order to make it as white the sun shine. My question to Paris is when we all this extrajudicial killing, when we will be saying no to that? That's my question, Wada. Thank you.
Thank you. Barrister, did you get his question? Barrister, did you get the question of the caller? Caller, just hold on. Let's ascertain if Barrister is hearing us. And Mazi Patrick, this will tell you how our people reason. I wonder how people will be listening to a program like this and they are coming up with such questions. Don't you think that something is not adding up somewhere?
No,
Probably they were not here to listen to what we were saying. They were just here with that question they have in their mind. And probably to all we have been saying here, they were not even listening.
yeah, man.
Because one should be able to know the questions that should be made for IPOB and for IPOB legal luminary.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, people have the right to ask whatever questions they have in mind. Uh, you cannot limit their mindset or corner them to, whatever question you feel they should be asking. They have the freedom to do that. But as the moderators, it is our duty to streamline the questions and give it a direction. We are dealing with the public, and we do not expect that everybody will have the broader understanding of the topic on board, but it is our duty as the presenters of this program to give direction to specific issues as we are handling them, and make them understand where we stand and what we want to achieve in this program. So for us, we would not want to put people on a scale to measure them, because it is natural that when you deal with a wider audience, questions are definitely going to come from even places you do not expect. Yes, so I think the barrister is back. Barrister, are you back?
I just came back now. Mazi, I've not been following the questions. Maybe you have to refresh my memory, please, though.
Okay,
Yes,
Or
there are the
guide me as
series
to
of
the questions they
questions.
asked so that I can be able to respond to it.
we will take fresh. Oh, we will take fresh questions. We will take fresh questions. We have technically attended to the previous
Uh-huh.
questions, and people were complaining that they were not hearing you. VRC has not been speaking. Our guest has not been speaking because he was having this glitch. So I think he has now overcome it. So right now we are taking fresh questions, and you can now
Okay.
hear him.
I'm back now, eh?
Caller on the
You're
line. Good
welcome
evening,
back,
and
barrister.
welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Jovista. Jovista Nwada. My name is Nnamdi and I'm calling from Ireland. I want to create a message for his work on IPOB movement. My question, I don't want to waste time. My question to Barrister is, I just want to find out what is our governors, what is the governors of Eastern Nigerians and the representatives in the House of Senate and the House of Reps in Biafra land, in Igbo land in particular, what are they doing to save our people from this Nigerian punishment of Igbo people? I can't understand every killings going in Igbo land. There's no statement from the House of Senate in Igbo extraction, House of Representatives as well, House of Assemblies as well. Are we not at don't we have leaders in Igbo land? Don't we have leaders? Don't we have OBs? What are these people doing? Are they just sitting down there for Nigerian government to annihilate the whole Igbo youth? So my question is, what are the governors and the politicians in Igbo land doing to save our people, to save our young youth? Those who are representing us in the House of Senate and Representatives, what are they doing actually? I don't know what they are doing in Igbo land. The governors and all the politicians. Please, that is what I want to know. What are they doing?
Thank you. Your
Because
questions are noted. Thank you. Barrister, did you get his question?
thank you.
Barrister, are you with us?
Very well, very well.
All right.
Thank you so much. In specific response to the question, I will say it's a function of political will. And within my own limited capacity, I've personally written some of the chief executives of the Southeast seeking for their intervention, particularly in the manner in which to stop the manner in which innocent Biafrans are profiled and abducted and probably taken to unknown destinations. And
We are sorry that we can see we are having that doubt that Barrister's internet is under attack. Okay.
possibly join. Point I want to make, I'm still to make for all of us to understand, is that these monsters does not even spare Biafrans too. These are people that can kidnap their own brothers, kill them, uh, uh, do all sort of things with them, kidnap, kill, rape, and do all sort of things. So these monsters does not spare us too. So the point is that it's something that people should come together to fight a common enemy, because they are enemy of Biafrans. They are not into any form of agitation. They are not into any form of project that will liberate our people. So I've written to the chief executives, the fact as governors, and also have discussion, notify some other people who are the National Assembly seeking for the intervention. Because you see, the way and manner our people are being arrested, it's not arrest, it's a criminal. Because when you arrest, the essence of arrest is to arrest and detain in a place where someone will come and you'll be able to tell the person look at the offense the person arrested committed. But when someone is arrested without a definition or location of where he's been detained, that's an abduction. So, and it's rampant, it's going on every day. Even as I speak to you today, it's going on every day in the Biafra land. So, in as much as I'm not against fighting crime in any form, but the fact is that we have to be, the fact is that the innocent Biafran have to separate from those who are committing crime. You have to separate innocent Biafrans from the monsters who are desecrating the Igbo land. That's what I'm saying, because these people are not committing any offense but arresting. You know the criminals where they are. You know where they operate from. Go after them, and they have the support, even the support of IPOB to fight the criminals. As support of the every reasonable member of society to fight them. Go on.
Yeah, Mazi, there's always
Well,
delay.
the point is that it is the duty of every responsible citizen to join hands in fighting crime. And repeatedly, IPB had in their various statement till tomorrow insist and also clear. They are very clear about people, those who are doing this. They are not working with the government. I said they've repeatedly in their statement condemned those. But I'm not able to answer a question. Of course. I think I've answered this question in my previous response. I hope that you are aware I've answered this question. And
Yes,
I
you
was
have
able
done
to
that.
elaborate.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Please, caller on the line. Good evening and welcome to the program. Caller, can you hear me? Caller on the line. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, hello, please. I just have a question. My question to the
Your
barrister
name
is
and where you are calling from, please. Just
my
one
name is
minute. You have 1 minute. Series of calls are coming in. Let's attend to as many as we could, please. Just 1 minute.
okay, I'm calling from Munich. My name is Iyasule. I have a very, very quick question for Mazi Nnamdi on behalf of him. I wanted to ask because he went to Israel, and my question was he went for protection in Israel while in Israel. Hello?
Go ahead, please. 1 minute,
Yeah,
please.
while in Israel, I wanted to know if they were able, if the barrister was able to reach out to the Israeli government of Benjamin Netanyahu or international communities to please to help us in this situation, to help us out in this situation, because what we are seeing right now, because in this contraption, what we are seeing right now is the total mess. You know, we can't take this from this. We need the international communities to come in and help us, like the government of Benjamin Netanyahu, because President Nnamdi was over there, he gave him protection. We need a kind of like, we need to talk with people. We need to reach out to them. We need to reach out to the international community. Also, we need to kind of resistance to see if people get to the government of Vladimir Putin in Russia to see if there's a possibility to get all these communities to talk, because we need international community to come. Nature of the judicial system in this contraptment is total nonsense. So I don't think there's a way out. You know, I just want to know if there's we can get to these communities and see if there can be a way out for us.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Barrister, did you hear his question?
I'm hearing this question. I had a question, but actually, this, no, it's not clear to me actually, because it was actually, it appears it's asking why, or seeking intervention, why the relevant international community or sovereign state have not intervened in the case of Nnamdi. They can specifically make a reference to Israel in that regard. That I may not be able to respond to, because what's supposed to the legal framework we are to adopt in getting the international institutions involved in the matter has been explored. So, which I said I may not be able to give details about it. So, I may, in this circumstance, limit my response to the fact that we have activated the legal framework through which we're seeking the intervention of relevant institutions across the globe to get involved in the case before, which is being spearheaded by the Director of States. And so I will stop at this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mazi. Caller, okay.
Thank you.
Caller on the line, your name and where you are calling from. Your question, just 1 minute, please.
People calling from Italy. Good evening, Barrister. My question is,
Good evening.
please, you have said something about the man in Finland following the insecurity in Nigeria to having the release of our leader. What has been done about, is there not any legal action to take against him? And so many times there has been a press release from our head, Director of State, depreciating this man from IPOB. And you will still see some media bringing us together, calling him a member of the group. Is there not any legal action to be taken against those people? And my own, apart from that, what else I have to say is that if the Senate and the other government officials that are helping us in Ebola cannot help us anymore, let them come down and let the people defend themselves by themselves. Not that you will be there and they'll be killing people, you won't say anything. They will be adopting people, husband and wife, children, daily, killing them, no justice. And you are there collecting money, trying to tell us that you are a government, that you are leading us, that you are representing us, and next election will still come out. If they cannot do anything, let them go down and let the people help themselves by ourselves. And that is all because you said this moment. Thank you.
Hello, are you with me?
Yes,
Hello.
Barrister, go ahead. Yes, go on, Barrister. Go on and answer his questions.
The fact is that uh, media media platforms in Nigeria referring to him as either a leader or a professional leader of IPOB is all strategy. So, which I had earlier elaborated upon about the conspiracy of a sort, because they know who he is. And I said a few days ago, Nigerian government, the military, Nigerian defense, chief of defense staff referred to the group by their name. So those who are still referring him as member of IPOB or professional leader of IPOB or whatever they call him is purely for mischief purposes and also to serve the purpose for which they are doing it. But what's the purpose they're doing for what's the set out purpose or plan? Just to demonize IPOB, as I emphasized, demonize IPOB before the international community and make them look like the people who are actually perpetrating the crime, when in fact the state is aware that this crime is being perpetrated by a certain person from Finland who is connecting the entire thing going on in the southeast. So obviously, who is not into any form of agitation. So it's kind of a conspiracy of a sort. And of course, you know, in the Nigerian thing goes, give them money, they will say whatever they want to say in the media. So I've personally, no. So okay, so I said I personally on my own uh, uh, issued written to the chief executives requesting for their intervention and stating reason why they have to intervene. Because these are innocent Biafrans. These are people that they are governing. As of today, we still have a functional government in the southeast. So we can't just close our eyes to those the atrocities that goes on every day in the name of abduction of innocent Biafrans. So, and they know what to do. After all, they are the leaders on the ground. They know who and who are committing the crime. So, and I will urge us to allow them to intervene. Because you see, the point is that if you understand what is happening in the southeast today, if we understand what's happening in the southeast today, you understand that even you who is calling today cannot freely travel to your homeland. And you're not traveling because you're afraid of those security agents. No. You're afraid of because you are traveling, you are afraid because of even your brothers who say they are agitating for your freedom. Some criminals in these guys. So, but the issue of security agents, reckless abduction and arrest of innocent Biafrans, innocent Biafrans will stop if chief executive, the governors of the southeast, become take it serious. Because I want them to take it serious. They were not saying that crimes are not being committed on a daily basis by these people. After a so day that will pass without you hearing about one incident or another that happened in the east, some people are doing it and they know them. They know them. So what we are asking them to do is to intervene, use their powers, political powers to get involved. Call this agency to order, call the institution to order, the security agency to order. Let them direct the effort to those who are doing this. Allow the non-Biafrans to go. Okay, let me give an instance. When something happened in Aba on 30th of May this year, criminals desecrated our land in Aba. I issued a statement. I wrote letters. And on the basis of the fact that some people, innocent people, including the kings, were arrested on account of that. So, and following up their letters, many people were released. The governor got involved, and the exercise powers, many of them were released. I can say that for sure. So these are things we want in other states. So it does stop. So that once they intervene, an intervention will lead to immediate stop in profiling innocent Biafrans and arresting them. But let me say this thing to you. Right to self-determination is constitutionally guaranteed right and recognized globally. So the most important thing depends on the way you are going about it. So the fact that you are agitating for the freedom, for the liberation of our people, it's a right guaranteed under the law. So no law that says you cannot exercise this right. No. So and those who are hiding under the fact that they are agitating and committing atrocities of sorts, they know them. They know them. Because these guys are not into this into the form of agitation. How can you tell me? How can we say it? Ka anyị gwa nwa anyị eziokwu na anyị bụ ndị Igbo. Ka eke esi gwa m nkịta na mụ nwa ahụ Barrister Ejiofor ya pụta today wee chefu nwanne m nọrọ in a group afụ nwanne okenye na-aga n'ụzọ. Let me speak in a language everybody will understand. Wee fụ nwanne okenye na-aga n'ụzọ. I wee nwude were ebe a n'ime ọfịa. Isi ha nwude na onye abụ nka akpụrụ and then you see agitation, it is not, it's pure criminality. It's pure criminality of what you for it has nothing to do with agitation. So and then they know themselves. And security agents, you put one lady boy, and then okay, look at what happened in Moscow last time. Every day I go on atrocity, go another one. If I tell them everything, I will send them money. It's not agitation. And I know those who are doing this. Man, instead of calling them by their names, you want to say no. As a matter of fact, only of them anything today. Before the first statement you read on paper, on the news, or even online, the first statement immediately they will release. Now they are on the I know separatist group, no IPOB, without investigating them, and they know those who are committing these atrocities. So what I'm urging, I'm still begging the state government. Go on. Thank you. I'm hearing the caller very well. Biafran child, I'm hearing the caller very well. Thank you so much. Watch Nike. Apparently, you have answered the question in substance because uh, Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor today is still lead counsel to IPOB. So I've drawn a long line of list here, which I wanted to read out about the cases we are handling for IPOB in many courts, which has to do with over 200 persons who are today in custody. And these cases, uh, these cases have attend, have attend gone far here in hearing because most of them have been concluded, awaiting judgment. Some of them are for adoption, some are for ruling, and some the trial are still going on in some of them, and some have gone on appeal. Those that have gone on appeal are those who have gotten judgment before the lower court. Like we have, I may not, if you allow me, I'll mention them. So we have about four different cases in court of appeal today. The one they filed appeal, and these are matters were done against the police state and the SSS, and they are purely IPD cases, and they will won the cases, and they went on appeal. So, like Commissioner of Police was Solomon Ludafo, Commissioner of Police was one the Wange, Wednesday, State Civil Services was equal to Stephen, Commissioner of Police was Gochukwu Antonio Keke, um, State Civil Services against Chinyere Anene, and a lot of many of them. So I may not be able to mention here. So I am actively still the lead counsel to IPOB. So, but Nnamdi Kanu, Nnamdi Kanu's case is it's a different thing altogether. Of course, it's a personal case being handled by the leader of the IPOB, no doubt about it. They're being handled by counsel of his choice. So this one, I'm lead counsel to IPOB, and we are still defending them, and we'll still continue to defend them. Thank you.
Um, um, Despite that, Mazi, I would just like to ask this one particular question. Please, Barrister. Okay, yeah. Please, just it's very important. It's very important, please. Yeah. Barrister, I want to know how MBA is being represented. I mean, whether they have chapters or whether they are being represented by states. Because sometimes I used to hear MBA local government representative or chairman or president or however they are dressed. Why I am asking this question is because we remembered in May 2022 how on May 22 how some groups of lawyers, about 34 group of lawyers from the north, stood and they mounted defense for the suspected killers of Deborah. And that group was being led by Professor Mansa Ibrahim, who is a lecturer in the Usman Danfodio University. This group of lawyers, they stood that the killers of Deborah must be released. Now I am asking, do we have Igbo lawyers or Southeast lawyers that can stand this way for the forceful disappearances or for the ethnic cleansing going on in Igbo land? Because apart from IPOB legal team, we have never heard about any other group of legal team speaking on behalf of what is going on in Igbo land today, even when there is all this selective justice, all these intimidations and every other thing, we have never seen any other lawyer or group of lawyers standing for the Igbos.
Are you done?
Yes, barrister.
Are you done? Hello?
Yes, barrister, I'm done.
Hello?
Yes,
Okay,
barrister, I'm through with my questions. Yes.
let me just let me let me give an overview about how this thing works. Now, let me give an overview about how this thing works. In 2015, when we started this case, of course, you know that many people ran away. Even when we consulted, some people didn't identify with the matter before we proceeded. However, in the course of time, some people will come, some our brothers will come thinking that there are benefits attached to appearing in the matter. Some we are discouraged because they are not being, nobody's paying anybody. So that is the what I know that happened. Uh, he set out for payment of lawyers, and when they had this matter being handled on pro bono, some of them would disappear. It happened at the early stage of the case. So it's a personal choice. It's a matter of personal choice after all. After all, we have many senior advocates Igbo, from Igbo land. We have many senior lawyers, professors, and so anybody that wish to identify with this cause, probably to come and defend those who are illegally arrested and detained and seek for their release, is free to do that. But I cannot hold their brief. I cannot speak for them. It's a thing of choice. And so that someone in from the northern mobilize people to
Mazi Patrick, we've really battled with the technical glitch, but I think that we've won. We've won. Yes, you are.
for standing up and making sure that our people are brought to court and for their cases to be heard. That alone is a huge courage because what the security forces of the Nigerian state want to do is to continue to kidnap our people, completely lock them up without giving them even single access to their right for fair hearing. And this is quite unfortunate, and this is where Barrister Ifeanyi Ejiofor have covered the gap in making sure that these cases are heard in court, and we have to appreciate that. Barrister, you're welcome back to the program. We'll be rounding up this program for other future engagement because we spent a quality time with you over 2 hours, and I believe and I want to appreciate our audience, our viewers, who have also remained steadfast with us, who have continued even from the beginning of the program till now, listen and drop their comment. It is commendable for them for their patience. There was something you were trying to explain as regard to the Nigerian Bar Association position in the human rights violation in Biafra land as it stands today.
No, it was more than referred to one professor from the north who mobilized lawyers from their region to defend people that killed an innocent lady. However, I said it's purely it's not being sponsored by actually sponsored by the NDA. Um, it's not acting the capacity his capacity as a member of as an official of NBA. No, it's something he's a figure and probably in line with their belief, mobilizing people, which can as well happen in our place. happen. And I had earlier mentioned that when we, at the early stage of this case, in 2015, some people identified with the legal team, they came in their numbers. So, but at some point, they were discouraged because they were thinking that an amount of money, heavy amount of money, had been set out for lawyers. So when they discovered that this matter is substantially being conducted on pro bono, and they were discouraged another way. So some people can still uh, and can still decide today to mobilize. NBA actually has a human rights committee, but it appears from every indication that that committee is not doing much, and they are only involved in selected cases per se. So, but our people can on their own decide to come out and they mobilize a committee team from our own side to defend these people, to assist in defending our people who are being arrested, arrested. So even in my own personal case, in my own case as a lawyer, I wrote to them as a senior member of the bar. I wrote to them to MBE as a body and narrated my ordeal in the hands of Nigerian security agents. What they do? How many of them were involved in my case? My case was practically done by my chambers and few friends who also share the same sympathy with me. So I'm talking about a member of MBA, a senior member of MBA. So as I am, I invited them, I petitioned them, but they were not involved. So talk more of cases affecting the downtrodden. So the point is that it's a function of personal choice. That I can say. If our people decide to mobilize lawyers to get on their own, decide so much to get involved in the matter, they can come out and they fight with us in doing these cases. Nobody's been prevented from them getting involved in these matters. No. After all, there's nothing big deal. There's no big deal about it. People can get involved and assist us in doing these cases, some of these cases. Particularly now, Biafrans are being arrested on a daily basis from all parts of the Southeast region. Thank you.
Thank you, Barrister. Wanda, do we have callers? Because we'll be rounding up this program in the next 10 minutes.
Biafra, you gave me, we agreed for 1 hour, but we are not going into
Who's
4 hours. But
yes?
Barrister, Barrister, you have just exposed me.
sacrifice for
You've
Biafra.
exposed me. Yes, you said 1 hour, but please, we are rounding up. We are not taking further questions. We are just wrapping it up. And Mazi Patrick, just permit me to at once uh, pass my parting message to Biafrans, to our guests, and to viewers. So, Barrister, I must say a big thank you for your coming to BTV to clear some of these bordering questions. We know, as Mazi Patrick rightly said before, that you can be coming in subsequent times to clear so many issues, because if we could allow the callers, or even my own questions alone can take us 5 hours from now.
I
And
can
Mass
see
Patrick, you know that I
you
love
can
asking
prepare
so many questions. So I am thanking you so much for your time. And I apologize for keeping you for more than 2 hours after we agreed it is for 1 hour. You know, Biafrans love you so much. And
Thank you
I
so much.
know they may not even want you to go as well. You can see
I'm not
how
worried.
much people
I'm
are
not worried. Thank
coming
you so
in.
much.
You
My
are really
advice,
loved by our people.
thank you so much. I appreciate it. I love them more. On a concluding note, except you have further questions to ask me. Um, otherwise I will say a few things before I exit.
Barrister,
I
go
have
ahead. Go ahead. The floor is yours. Go ahead.
what I want to tell Biafrans is that self-determination is a constitutionally guaranteed right, which is also a global recognized right under relevant instruments and conventions. I encourage Biafrans to continue in their peaceful quest and non-violent approach to their quest for the ultimate restoration of Biafra, for their own sovereign state of Biafra. So it's very clear from every indication, which we are all seeing every day, that some people were being recruited to come and unleash all forms of havoc on our people, which is presently going on in our lands today. And by so doing, to justify the political prosecution of IPOB, of course, initially they started with saying, introducing themselves as spokesperson of IPOB. That one failed. They started introducing themselves as factional leader of IPOB. That one failed. At some point, they now developed a template, a platform which they are representing now. So I'm holding tenaciously on it. Now let me ask dear friends. We are all Igbo. I ain't chabun Igbo. Can you from the depth of my heart? I na-ekwu okwu ihe anyị na-ekwu maka Biafra ọkwa. I'm a lawyer. I na-atụ ihe na-agba mbọ ụka by the mma because obviously the sense of ihe a na-akọ maka ya bụ anyị chọrọ ka ana Igbo dị mma ọkwa ya ka be anyị dị mma na we are not being treated fairly. Ha chọrọ ka be anyị dị mma. Ihe na-ajụ ndị be anyị ma ndị na-atụ ego enye ndị a na-eme ihe a, but those who are contributing money for them can na-ajụ sị ha wherever they are, because most times I see people who are reasonable, who supposed to be learned. You see what they're doing. It will give you somebody else. Singing at Biafra na Biafra of December. I want to say this thing now. Let us be on record. Or singing at Biafra na Biafra December 28th. Or not December, November, according to their own calculation. Then Udo Haena 28th will come and go. They will tell you another story. And it is clear to you as an Igbo man and Igbo woman. Nobody here now, nothing is going of sort is going to happen. Now, in a Jomo guy in a that person ever nature. That one, where is he going to? I'm asking you a question. Now, one of any grounds of the father will have mothers, sisters, brothers, and any of us have for written one word or other of activities of those people. Jomoga, Juaka, Jomoga, introspect. Kai check good here, man. I need Bokita according today. How many of us are proud enough to go back to that to do any of part of this or any state of in Igbo land and move freely? How many of us are now working around? Put on a bamoto, one blue moto, guy from Onitsha, guy or Lucio, Baba, Baba, water, Can any of us say away the pram? Go the already told me here, me or young men. Or they are make back I not, or did Biafra I not talk and not do. From the not to again yet, baby. On a or did I couldn't not talk, or you couldn't sponsor the down there when they go in here. Can it get away, by your young governor, but Madame Matas and ana m agwa ha ka onye ọbụla wuru uche ha were ire were ere ego ezighi ọnụ ya ka nna agwa ndị be anyị ana igbo were ere ugwu ego because now the point I want you to understand bụ na whichever way you are contributing to what is happening whichever way you are contributing onye ọnụ sorry nwaada I'm coming on whichever way you are contributing in the end onye ahụ eketa afụ nke ụmụ nwa ya eketa afụ nke ọ bụrụ ihe a ka Nnamdi Kanu we set up IPOB I don't know abụrụ onye nwa and I bring her IPOB name. That's why I had to be a doctor point from IPOB. How do I pass out with IPOB? Never the one have IPOB no put at Hanano. On Kessel Hakanano. She wore a time, then cat, where dear. Obulum one yaki, I didn't want yaki years to name me hot job. Would you have an abai? Made a mother man a thousand abai. So, in that Juno Bonakai will I do my out. Let us ask ourselves question. I don't know, I'm a major. As good as several times, I put your first name, Marava, unless no approach you can never. Because I will continue to speak the truth. It's one a Kuzoku from, as a matter of fact, over the name Kuzoku, I'll be saying the truth because I'm not going to know when I tell them. So, can you why I do? Whatever I need. Ndine will go in a living rat to somebody go. On I want a Biafra and a bench, not a one nature, not a menka, or soon can say that way. In a check one open a Wednesday and a south east from Monday to Sunday. Out of open all the 10, out of that 10, 7 on one and away will make it now. No nega any trend. Yeah, I couldn't go on. I see and you couldn't trend and then Imo State. Overall, folk tell. Oh, reality. All reality. I don't want to start saying it. On the platforms, and if I couldn't even buy, it's reality. Kinda they move one no. On a two go as a private, democratic. This is rubbish. So let us introspect. Do what I do. So thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you,
Biafra
Barrister.
and the Mazi Patrick. I can assure you that from time to time I will be featuring your programs.
No, Mazi, your
So thank you
presence
so
is
much.
highly
God bless you
needed
all.
because you need to work with the media for our people to have a clear picture of the job you are doing. And there is something I said earlier. The criminality that is happening in our land today did not come to so many of us as a surprise. And I cited an instance of 2017 after the Operation Python dance that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu managed to escape. There was this scenario that was painted with a group of individuals who came with dressed up in black and red, tied their red, this thing, whatever on their head, and somebody covered his face with the same stature of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and everything, trying to speak like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in that video, trying to address Biafrans in that video, and threatening the Nigerian state at that time. Talking about how he's going to kidnap Buhari at that time. A lot of things were said. Now we were in the media, we were able to dissect that video, and we knew that that individual or that personality was not Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They tried to mimic Mazi Nnamdi. They tried to paint a picture of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu covering his face to, threaten Nigerian government. So when you look at the scenario of 2017 of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, Operation Python down escape, and the present situation of his abduction from Kenya and extraordinary rendition back to Nigeria, you can put all these whole scenarios together to understand that there have been a very long time effort in making sure that IPOB is criminalized. And that is the reason it was so fast for them to be able to concord a court judgment to make IPOB to blackmail and blacklist IPOB, and what is the right word, by making IPOB proscription of IPOB. This proscription of IPOB and all the things that have happened from then till now have been the effort and the program, because that is the only way IPOB can be discredited. Every effort has been put in place to see how to discredit IPOB, and they understand that the only and the easiest way to do that is by infiltrating and criminalizing the organization. By so doing, it becomes very, very difficult and impossible for IPOB to have access and communication with the global community. So it is a common sense thing, barrister. So for me, many of us understand because we are also able to also go back in history of how the Nigerian government also put on the Biafra uniform to terrorize people in the riverine areas during the war. So this had been a strategy for years. And so when you see some of the criminalities going on today, for many people who understand can relate, not everybody can relate. A lot of people will be carried away believing that some people came to fight for Biafra. But don't forget that some people also wore Biafra uniform to terrorize our people in the riverine area, creating that discontent, making them believe that Biafran soldiers came to attack our people in the riverine area. So these are the scenarios that should be put in place, that when you see certain things happening, it is no longer a news because they have happened in the past, but your ability to put one and two together can only give you three. So, Barrister Ejiofor, we want to say thank you very much for your presence in this program. And like you've
Thank you
assured
so
us, we would like to continue to have you as regular as often to give us update of the situation of our brothers who are illegally detained, because it is very, very important for us and for Biafrans in general. And also to also give Biafran the confidence that they have a representation, a legal representation that is worth the onions. Because as far as I'm concerned, you have been able to prove yourself in the test of time. We want to say thank you for being part of the program. And until we see you guys again, our viewers and followers and Biafrans all over the world, I want to say thank you very much for staying with us till this moment. 2 hours and 30 minutes passed. I will also want to say sorry, Barrister Ejiofor. Apologies to you to
much.
have
Fine, no
taken
problem.
this long time.
I'm
But
fine.
it is worth it. We want to say thank you
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.
And
Bless you.
until we meet again, it has been Mazi, Patrick, Ikem, and Wada.
Jovista, Chichi.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much
Kemesia.
much, Biafra.
and have a
Thank you very much.
wonderful Sunday.
Thank you so much
God
for
bless
having me.
you.
God bless you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.